We are having a tech talk on the greater good, building a digital ready culture. We're looking at talking about knowing about how a business can succeed by adopting a digital in the right way. Learn more about the new normal has changed customer expectation and also accelerated digital transformation more than ever before, and also get insights on how businesses have successfully evolved the CX and EX that they offer to win happy customers and employees. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're joined by our speaker, Rajiv Ramanan, Director, Technology Partnerships, Freshworks Inc. Well, Rajiv heads a non-linear growth channel at Freshworks, such as ISVs, startups, and GSIs. He's experienced in building and launching products and platforms globally and in the product management consulting, business development strategy, project management, and business analysis. With this, I now request our eminent speaker, Mr. Rajiv, to join us live on the screen. Thank you so much, Rajiv, for joining us today.
Thank you, Bhavna. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, we can hear you well. Thank you for joining us. How are you feeling, Rajiv?
I'm good, thank you. Hope everyone's feeling good. And I'm not going to keep this session very long and boring. I know it's post-lunch session and post-networking break. So I would love to keep it a little interactive. So if you have any questions or feedback, please feel free to ping. And as much as possible, I'll try to look at the chat and respond. And yeah, can we get started?
Yes, please. Over to you, Rajiv.
Yeah, thanks, Bhavna. First of all, thanks everyone for joining us on the Big CIO Show today. Very excited to be talking to you about a topic that is extremely passionate, which I'm extremely passionate about, which is building digital cultures and how software and tools are enabling and driving your business transformations. So, can you see my slides, Bhavna?
Yes, Rajiv, I can see, but if you'd just like to do it in the presentation, I think you're just doing it right now. Yeah. Let me just confirm once it's loaded. Thank you. Yes, over to you.
Okay. So yeah, today this is just a quick brief about me. I had quite a bit of experience in the customer experience and consulting and product space. Been in the tech industry for more than 15 years now, and worked with quite a lot of enterprises and also businesses across all sizes globally to drive up their digital transformation processes. Coming to the topic today, right? So we all know that the past 1.5 years of our lives have completely changed, right? And our customers, the way customers interact with businesses and way employees work, way employees access their business systems, everything has changed, and it's absolutely no way that we are going back to the old way of working. And we are seeing that as this is not just a single country or a single regional phenomenon. This is a global phenomenon, that the way people are gonna interact with businesses, the way employees are gonna work has changed completely. We are just looking at waiting to see how the extent of change is going to be and how businesses are willing to adapt, rather than thinking about, hey, we can all get back to the old ways of working. So what has changed? Just to get into little specifics about what really has changed for customers across the world, we see three major trends of how customers interact with businesses has changed. One is omni-channel. So customers today talk to businesses across different channels. So if you think about our shopping behavior, a lot of our folks were going into shops and buying things, and they were not open to e-commerce and open to shopping and digital mediums. Today, my mom gets all her food delivered. My mom shops for her entire week's needs and also all her tech needs through her mobile phone. So that is a huge change from a personal perspective. But when we extrapolated it, we see that more than 61% of customers globally are starting interaction journeys with one device or one particular channel with a company and ending it with a completely different channel. So we are seeing that businesses who have adopted to omni-channel strategies have been able to survive and engage with customers much better than companies that are still waiting to do that. And this is becoming table stakes now. It is not just an option anymore. Second, customers really require personalization. Customers are not open to be treated as just another cell in an Excel. So people really want to be known, people want to be engaged. And today, 48% of customers have left a brand's website and made a purchase from a competitor because their experience was not personalized to them, right? So when you're not personalized, which means you're introducing further steps to know the customer or validate the customer or engage with the customer. And each step causes 6 to 9% drop-offs in customer engagement journeys today. And the third is speed. Customers don't want to wait, and customers are perfectly okay, and they understand that it is okay to talk to a machine because if they are getting the right resolutions. So customers expect services anytime, anywhere today. We don't have the option of making the customer stand in a queue or wait in a phone line for 5 minutes, 7 minutes before we talk to a customer. So 75% of customers today expect responses and resolutions within 5 minutes. If we are not doing that, there are multiple other brands that the customers are choosing to go to. So by all these things, we see that product has become secondary to the overall experience that businesses are able to provide to customers today. If we don't provide the right experiences, we don't engage the customers the right way, we are in for a large amount of surprises in our business. Second, I think because of that change in customers, and that has come in so rapidly, I think the pandemic has actually accelerated the digital transformation journeys of customers by more than, for enterprises by more than 5 years, and for customers by more than 7 to 10 years. We did not expect so much of online transactions, so much of digital engagements to come in without the pandemic. So given that we are in that situation, we have to release the old to make way for the new. We have to start thinking about digital transformations as your number one priority. It can't be on the back burner anymore. We have to start thinking about digital transformations, not just in the customer facing side, but also your employee facing side, because a lot of employees are working remote. So asynchronous transactions and offline transactions are going to take over the way businesses are run. So for us, to bring all those together into a single suite or a single place where we are able to take meaningful decisions is becoming extremely important. And we are all talking about digital transformation, but what does it actually mean, right? So I was searching for a decent definition of business transformation, and I found this to cover a lot of parameters that I believe are important for digital transformations, right? So one is, it is the process of transforming a business by leveraging technology, which is the core at all levels, right from business to making sure that it is a completely connected enterprise. It is future proof for at least for the next 5 to 7 years. And we have to think about digital and online business strategy as a number one goal. If we are not able to do all these things, the process, it is not leading to a strong digital transformation. We are breaking the chain somewhere. It might lead to a lot of failures in transformation initiatives. And Vodafone says that 69% of businesses will completely fail if they don't adopt to CX transformations. And we also see that the 5-year advancement in digital transformations, a lot of enterprises are yet to adopt it at that full scale. They are just waiting to see what will happen after the pandemic to identify core areas to invest in. But we know that whatever they were planning for the next 5 years, they have to accelerate and bring it out right now. So when we looked at a lot of transformations that are happening, a lot of businesses have actually prioritized digital transformations and going full steam on it. But we also see large enterprises making quite a lot of mistakes in digital transformations. And we see that from a report from McKinsey states that about 70% of transformations fail, right? And if you look at the top reasons why they fail, we see that there is a clear lack of goals and exec alignment. So until now, it is becoming a battle of budgets. So people who get budgets to transform a few projects, they take it up and do it. It was all piecemeal transformations, and they were all definitely not oriented towards customer facing components because of the way budgets were allocated, etc. Right? But now the business has to put the customer in the center and build everything around it. So we have to ensure that there is clear goals that we are able to drive with digital transformations, and we need all the right exec alignment for all teams working on the transformation for us to prevent failures happening in digital transformation space. Second, misunderstanding depth of transformations. See, when you generally talk about transformations, people talk about a few processes and transform it end to end, but they completely misunderstand or underestimate the amount of effort that it will take for it to be aligned with all the other systems that the process are talking to. right? So a lot of transformations fail because of integrations and failure in estimating the amount of integration and depth that is required in the transformation. So the systems that are required to be changed, the teams that are required to be aligned, and how all their OKRs have to be aligned in a single space. So aligning or understanding the depth of transformation is extremely essential for you to save your digital transformation project. Third is adoption. Though we take care of digital transformations, the one entity that is often overlooked is the employee that is actually using the solution. So people are often trusted with solutions that they have to use because at a corporate level, there's a decision made on a tool, looking at the coverage of features that it brings in than user experience. So users fail to adopt the tools in the right way, which means that there is a huge amount of miss that is happening in the result that you can get out of the tool, and thereby transformations fail to deliver the results that were expected. And four, you can definitely see a shift pattern from CRM or we'll be looking at we should definitely think about it as an overall ecosystem of products. The products that do specific jobs really well have to be considered as part of your overall transformation scope, and that is when you will be able to show much deeper ROI on top of your products. So how do you and this is something that not just this is not something that we are saying. You can see this happening across the globe. Every single enterprise today is thinking deeply about transformations, but we have to avoid the pitfalls and choose the right solutions and partners that will enable you to achieve your ROI quickly on transformations. So it has to go from pure digital transformation to customer-centric transformations through digital mediums. So that's how you'll be able to change the whole culture of your organizations. So customer experience or customer engagement or enabling growth by providing better experience is not the duty of one or two teams in the company. It is everyone's business in the company. And if you look at what some companies have done really well for them to win in this space, they've embraced a digital-first omni-channel strategy. They've led with automation and AI. They've also provided the agility in the solutions to be supporting flexibility of work, evolving processes, and also leveraging the power of cloud so that they don't over-invest and try to hedge on it, but rather use it only when needed. But at that point of time, go all out to provide a very flexible work environment for employees as well as customers. So given these situations, this is also another set of examples of top enterprises, how they are adopting to the AI first strategy and the digital first strategy. You'll see this is something that is global and not just to a certain region. Okay, and how does it matter, and how is Freshworks looking at it, right? So I come from Freshworks. We are a SaaS company based in India, but global from day one. We are headquartered in San Mateo, but we have close to 40,000 plus businesses that are our customers, and we've grown from $0 to $300 million in recurring revenue in 10 years, and one of the fastest growing SaaS companies in the world. And how are we looking at it? When we looked at digital transformation trends across the world, we found two lenses to look at it. One is the digital CX and digital EX, right? So digital CX is all the processes and all the tools and all the things that businesses need to do to engage with their customers better, which means we are able to provide omni-channel experiences, personalized support, and with a lot of AI and automation coming into place that will help them to rapidly deploy these solutions and also to see ROI coming out of it. And we look at EX as the place where we are able to provide easily adoptable employee engagement solutions, again, driven by a lot of human augmented support through bots, etc., to drive better value for employees and companies that are providing support for internal employees. So given this, we see three main themes that are accelerating the digital experiences. One is personalization. We are able to provide a 360 view of customer and employee to people who are providing services, right from the first touch point of a customer with the business to the last touch point of a customer with the business. We track every single interaction, and we are able to provide it in a simple space where business users are able to use that information and act on it to provide the right resolutions, etc., to customers. And we also integrate with over 1,000 plus applications in our marketplace, where we are able to easily drive and synchronize the tools to the business processes, so we are able to drive proactive engagement and support for customers. Second, it moves to engagement. We move from reactive to proactive. In fact, we also have to move to a place where we drive a lot more of automation and deflections through simple automations that come through with AI and bots that are embedded as part of the solutions and need not buy something separately out in the market. And third, we also look at the voice of the customer and deeply embedded outcomes that come from the voice of the customers, keep it as a strong feedback loop to both teams that are serving customers as well as teams that are serving employees, so that we are able to be ahead of the curve to make the right changes in the processes and the systems to serve them better. Given this situation, I would also say that one of the most important aspects that we have to look at is AI and automation first approach. As businesses scale, even in terms of e-commerce, etc., you've seen that in the pandemic, the businesses have grown significantly, but that is not the same speed at which you can scale your support or your employee engagement teams. So you need to choose tools and solutions that are augmented with an AI first approach, where you can power close to 35-40% of your customers' engagements with zero human interaction, and without actually losing your experience score that you get with the customers. So the customer experience is not compromised, but you are able to serve your customers way better by enabling right automations through the customer journey. And we also see that to be a big trend in remote employees. We are able to provide tools where employees are able to access their tools that they require to do their day-to-day operations anywhere in the world, completely remote, scale them very, very quickly without you having to worry about infrastructure and all those things. It's a fully cloud solution that we are providing. Second, we are able to onboard and empower employees with simple tools, and onboarding process can also be completely automated. And third is the full-fledged automation suite that gives you the full power to automate your entire process with a drag and drop interface, so easy to use. So you know your business better, you know your customers better, you know your employees better, you'll be able to automate into that. So given these tools, this is how we go to market. We are a simple, flexible, and intelligent suite of solutions that you can use to meet all your digital transformation needs, be it in the customer-facing side or in the employee-facing side. So this is just a quick view of our tools and our top customers. So anything on the topic of employee engagement, customer engagement, I'm more than happy to take questions on. I just have a minute left. So if there is anything that we want to discuss, happy to discuss right now.
No. So thank you so much, Mr. Ramanan, firstly for your incredible session right now. I'm sure every person who's watching would have benefited from your experience. Currently, we're just having our upcoming panelists ready for their session. So we'd really like to thank you, Mr. Ramanan, for your valuable time today. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Bhavna. Thanks everyone for your time.
Pleasure.